Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 11th devotion in the church called Jonah. Today we're looking at Jonah chapter 1, verses 7 and 8, which says, "So they cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. Then they said to him, 'Please tell us, for whose cause is this trouble upon us? What is your occupation? And where do you come from? What is your country? And of what people are you?'" So they cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. He was the one responsible for this storm. He didn't cause it, but he was responsible for it. How sad that the man who was a man of God, whom God sent on a mission, that man is responsible now for trouble upon both himself and upon other people as well. I don't think Jonah ever thought in his wildest dreams that this was going to happen. Here's a man who thought the people of Nineveh were too sinful to go and preach to them. But now he is guilty of rebelling against the God of the universe. We know God's thoughts about obedience, disobedience, rebellion, and stubbornness. 1 Samuel 15:22-23 says it this way, "Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry." So God looks at disobedience very seriously. He's comparing that with witchcraft and idolatry. Disobedience, rebellion, and stubbornness is like witchcraft and idolatry. It's not a simple thing to God. To us it might seem like, well, I'm just disobeying God, so what? God considers that a serious thing. Because we are rebelling against God who is leading us for our own good. We are walking away from Him to do what we want to do, and we are jeopardizing both ourselves and other people in the process. Imagine He's comparing this with witchcraft, a demonic thing, connecting with the dead, connecting with demons. He's calling this idolatry because we are the biggest idols in our lives. The church at large has rebelled against God to a large extent to take the gospel across the globe, to make disciples of all nations. We've got so caught up with ourselves that we and nobody else matters to us. We're jeopardizing ourselves and those around us by living self-centered lives, because that's not the reason why Jesus died for us and rose for us. That's not the reason He saved us. He saved us and kept us back here on earth so that we would take this gospel to the rest of the world, that they might be saved as we were. They said to him, "Please tell us, for whose cause is this trouble upon us?" They're requesting him. They know he's responsible. The lot fell on him. Now they talk to him. "Please tell us, for whose cause is this trouble on us?" You know, it's a great thing when somebody asks you a question for which you know the answer and you're going to get a reward for answering correctly, right? But this was not one of those times. Jonah knew the answer to the question, but it wasn't a joyous occasion for him. It wasn't a time of blurting out the answer to receive a reward. I'm sure he was trying to hold it in. He was trying to hide his purpose for living from the world. But suddenly, it seemed like it was surfacing like a submarine for all to see. He was the cause for what they were going through. Then they ask him another question. "What is your occupation? What do you do?" You know, in every conversation that we have with a new person we're meeting for the first time, in a matter of 60 seconds or so, we find ourselves asking that question to the person directly or indirectly. It's our way of sizing people up unconsciously. We want to know, what do people do? And strangely, one of the reasons why that's asked is we are deciding whether or not to continue on in the relationship with the person based on what they do. Have you noticed when we ask somebody what they do, and depending on their profession, our eyebrows go up if it's something we consider lofty, or we just look at them very casually if it's something that we consider not lofty in our own eyes. For many people, identity is so caught up with profession. If the same question were asked to us, the church, what would our response be? What is your occupation? What consumes our time, our resources, our money, our energies? What are we spending our days on? What do we wake up for? What do we live for? What do we look forward to in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year? What's our occupation? Are we busy just about ourselves and accomplishing all the dreams and desires and ambitions and goals that we have for ourselves and our families? Or are we so busy fulfilling the purposes for which God called us and chose us and saved us? They asked Jonah 3 more questions. And where do you come from? What is your country? And of what people are you? This again, where do you come from, plays a major role in sizing somebody up, and also depending on that, deciding on whether or not we build a relationship with them. It's one of the first 3 questions we ask people in a conversation for the first time. And especially in cultures like ours in India, it's a big thing where you come from. North India, South India, in South India, which state. So those things play a major role in one's identity as well. Some are considered higher, some are considered lower based on where they came from. Sadly, that's a stark reality in many places across the globe. What's your country was the next question. In cosmopolitan cities today, you have people from across different countries living together. And while we may not directly and openly ask the question for fear of coming across as being racist, deep down that question could still be playing on our minds. I wonder where this person is from originally. We look at a person's features today and think, well, they must be from so-and-so country. Well, they could have been born and brought up in the same country. But to us, we always want to know where they are from, which country they are from. Because, again, identity is locked up for many people in their place of birth. Another question they ask is, of what people are you? Maybe it's about race, maybe it's about, in our context today, maybe caste or community. Of what people are you? Not just country, but what people are you from that particular country? So you see, they are asking a lot of sizing up questions before they know more details as to how he's responsible for this storm. Can you imagine this? They're going through such a major crisis, but these questions of identity are more important to them at that point of time than solving the problem at hand. Identity plays such an important role in today's world. If the church were asked the same questions today, where do you come from? What is your country? What would our response be? Where do we come from? Well, we come from all over. We don't come from any one city, town, or village, or state, or country. The church comprises of people from across the globe, across the board, different villages, cities, towns, countries, states, provinces, districts, you name it. That's the church. What's your country? It doesn't matter which country we are from. Technically speaking, we don't even belong here on earth. Our citizenship is in heaven. We are only sojourners here. Philippians 3:20 talks about it that way. Hebrews 11:13 and 1 Peter 2:11. We don't belong here. This is not our home. If we were asked the third question of what people are you, what would our response be? We can't claim to have come from any one particular faith because we've all come from different faiths. Either faith in a particular religion, or faith in no God, or faith in maybe there's a God but we don't acknowledge. So we are atheists or agnostics, or we come from different faiths. So we are not from any one faith, and yet we comprise this amazing faith in Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Peter said it beautifully in 1 Peter 2:9 and 10. But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, who once were not a people, but are now the people of God, who had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Just watch that. A chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people. We were not a people, now we are the people of God. What definitions of who we are? Have we forgotten who we are? Because if we forget who we are, it's only a matter of time before we forget why we are. If we don't know our identity, we don't know our purpose. They are locked in together. Everything around us in the room right now has a name and has a purpose. Everything. A chair, a ceiling fan, an air conditioner, a laptop, everything has a name and a purpose. Identity and purpose are locked up together. And if we forget our identity, we forget our purpose. I think to a large extent the church has an identity crisis. Many of us have really forgotten who we are, and therefore we have forgotten why we are. And so we are sailing along in life with the rest of the world, blending in with the rest of the world, trying to do what they are doing, seeking the things they are seeking, forgetting we are here to help them come to know the God of the universe who transformed our lives. Let's do what we can to turn the situation around. It's very clear in the word in 2 Chronicles 7:13 and 14. God said this to King Solomon. When I shut up heaven and there is no rain, or command the locusts to devour the land, or send pestilence among my people, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and heal their land. It's quite obvious that we have a role as a church to play in the health of our nations that we exist in. It's our responsibility to come together, to pray, to seek God, to repent, and get back to Him, get back to our purpose for living. The Lord is faithful and merciful. He will forgive. He will hear and He will forgive and He will heal our land. If you are blessed by this devotion, please share this with somebody else. May God bless you and have a great day or night.